To this now, workers at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital are staging a picket. They're unhappy about budget cuts at the facility, saying it will lead to job cuts. Workers also say it will affect the quality of service they're providing. eNCA's reporter Slindelo Masikane is there and joins us now. Slindelo, we understand workers are highly aggrieved, particularly on those proposed budget cuts. What else are they saying?
Certainly so. This picket started at around 11 a.m. this morning, and what you can see behind me is healthcare workers joined by doctors as well as clinical staff as well, protesting essentially around these budget cuts. The notice has been put out by the Gauteng Department of Health stating that all COVID-19 posts, as it says in the statement, so all those who are hired to mitigate the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, those posts are going to be terminated, and that is around 800 jobs that we're looking at. And as you can see now, there's an address taking place. My colleague Lingenda Bambe and I are just trying to get closer so that we can be able to listen in.
You know what? We need more staff members to service this hospital. It was not because it was not government. We had to lead government and advise them. And for that, we're very much appreciative that they listened to us and created the 800 posts. Out of the shortage that we had, now they added the 800, which was not enough, but it was something good enough to make us to be able to function with all our, with all the, the shortages of staff that we have. Yes. Right now, the shortage of staff has not ended. We still short staff despite the 800 that we have. Right now, we know that COVID has now quietened down, but we do not know what is going to happen coming this winter and going forward. Right now, in the midst of this, we know that the little hospitals around us, they are working at sub-minimum. They're not at sub-optimal. They're not functioning well. So Charlotte Maxeke currently is half open, right, because of the fire there. Right, for 9 months, nothing has happened in terms of repairing that. Now, what is happening to those patients? They're flocking here. Yeah. By the way, this hospital does not treat patients only from Charlotte and from other hospitals. We get patients from other provinces, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, KZ, Northwest, but that is not all. We also treat patients from beyond our borders, from Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and elsewhere and so forth. Right. And, now, what more? This hospital has produced some of the best professionals, right? And we cannot let go. Now, government, in its own good senses, they've decided that come in the next 2 weeks, on the 31st of March, that they are going to terminate the COVID post, the 819 posts. And they do this without any plan whatsoever. All that they're saying that on the 31, those people must disappear. As to what is going to happen to this hospital that can collect its own waste material, the hospital that cannot provide bread for patients, the hospital that is so dirty we don't have enough cleaners, the hospital where we don't have enough porters, the young doctors and the nurses are pushing patients. So colleagues, comrades, and everyone here, I want to acknowledge you are being here. The dean is here. I also acknowledge you are being here, as well as the head of school, members of civil society, and of course, mainly the colleagues from Bara. I really want to thank you for coming. So what we want to do now, I'm going to ask one of the senior colleagues, Professor Smith, to come up and say something.
Namfundo, as you can hear, that was an address by one of the doctors here at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, that is Dr. Ramokhuba, who has really just outlined the issues and why they're here today, saying that by the 31st of March, some 800 workers here at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital are going to be terminated, saying that this hospital simply cannot afford this to happen, because already as it is with those 800 posts, the hospital is actually quite short-staffed.
Slindelo, very pertinent point that he mentions there, because I was about to ask about their own shortages, but he went on to stress that in fact they do have those shortages. The 800 odd posts that they are being referred to as COVID were actually for them seen as some sort of an assistance to cover some of those shortfalls. But thank you very much. We'll leave it there for now. That's our reporter, Slindelo Masikane.